One person out of 1.6 million people noticed this. Is Coach Greg a genius? You're not burning off 450 extra calories by putting on a freaking weighted vest while you walk your dog outside. Ryan, you fell off. Coach Greg, and this changes fat loss. And so this guy with 2 million followers, of which probably no one's ever heard of, well, he's going to say that his methods is going to change fat loss.
This is going to blow your mind.
Doubtful.
What if I told you the way you've been dieting since you peaked in high school and slowly got chubbier has been wrong?
I'd say that I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
You crank up your training, you lock in your diet for weeks, if not months, and you get in the best shape of your life. Then one morning you wake up and realize you're a big fat mess again.
Yep, nope, doesn't apply. If you're into the bulk and cut, sure. You go on a diet, you get shredded, then all of a sudden you're fat again. Your fault, not mine. I made 3,500 videos. Not my fault if you chose not to watch them.
This is a person's average total daily energy expenditure. You can see the bulk of it comes from basal metabolic rate or resting metabolic rate.
And so here's the problem that lies with that. Do you see that blue pie chart? Most people burn most of their calories through the blue pie chart. That's calories you're burning at rest. And so what do you think could change that? Rest less. I never thought of that. Think of it. You're sleeping 8 hours a day. You're sitting and watching TV for 4. You're driving to work. You're just sitting there. Try not to just sit there. Do stuff. Whatever it needs to be.
The calculator you found online to figure out your BMR is probably using this formula. Nope, never mind. That looks like shit.
That formula looks like something I taught in grade 11 math class and half the class failed. And so forget the formula. You don't need it. What is it going to do? Oh, it's going to track how many calories you burn. No, it's not. I don't care how many times you multiply your weight by, divided by your height, add to it your wrist size, your downstairs size, add to it the brightness coefficient of your teeth and your body count, and it's still going to be wrong. I mean, multiplier weight, multiplier height, in centimeters versus kilograms minus 5 times your age. Why? What? So whether you write it in on a chalkboard or it's typed in legibly, it still makes no sense. I mean, let me just try this. So we got 10 times my weight in kilograms times 87 times 6.25 times my height in centimeters, 167, I think. And then what? Minus, no one can figure this out. Why am I multiplying 5 times my age? Do you really think that I burn off fewer calories because of my age? Oh, you're 48. Ryan Humston, he's 35. And so he burns off way more calories. Just because he's younger? Why? Because he has more muscle because of his age? What if you have more muscle when you're older? There's no part on here that says, hey, if you're sponsored by Transcend, which I am, that you subtract this many or add this many calories. But if you are interested in Transcend, click the link in the description. And so in conclusion, this is nonsense.
We need to figure out our physical activity. And to do that, we have to use a very complex questionnaire known as PAL.
And so again, do you really think you're going to fit yourself into one of those categories? Sedentary, lightly active, moderately active, very active, super active. Which one are you and which one am I? I don't know. I don't think I'm super active, but maybe I am. Does riding a bike every day for an hour to an hour and a half considered to be super active? Doesn't seem it to me. If I asked a vegan cyclist if I was very active or super active, he'd probably say, you're probably moderately active. You get out on the bike for an hour. I mean, vegan cyclists oftentimes going for 10-hour bike rides. That is super active. And so do you really think this works?
So then we take BMR, times it by our PAL, and then we get calories needed to maintain your current weight. Hooray!
And so, yeah, if your basal metabolism is 2,000 calories and you multiply it by one of these numbers, it's going to make a bigger number. But do you think it's the correct number? Of course it's not. It's a guess. All this is a guess. But you know what wouldn't be a guess? Doing more physical activity and eating less food. You know if you do. You know if you trained harder than last time. You also know if you put the fork down. You know when you're full and you stop eating versus you keep eating till you're freaking stuffed? Or you eat till you're satisfied versus getting in that extra dessert? You know if you're overeating.
And I wanted to lose a pound a week. I'd have to average a 500 calorie a day deficit in a week. Pretty simple. Just decrease my calories by 500 every day and then... No! That's the mistake.
Exactly. And so Ryan Humston on point yet again. If you just cut out 500 calories a day from your diet, You're not going to consistently lose 1 pound of fat per week for life. It doesn't work like that. Think of it. If you're eating 2,500 calories a day and you cut it down to 2,000 calories, you're going to start to lose weight. First week or two, no problem. But eventually, it's going to become your new set point. And so you're not actually in a 500 calorie deficit. You are on the first day, the first week, I might add. But eventually, it's now going to be your new normal. Your 2,500 calorie metabolism is now at 2,000 calories. The more weight you lose, the lower your BMR becomes. And not only that, your NEAT oftentimes goes down. When you eat fewer calories, your body has less energy. And because of that, it conserves. You may not even realize it. It's subconscious. Rather than tapping your feet to that song, bobbing your head, rather than wasting calories, for example, if I'm making a video and I'm moving around, my body, it slows down. It's thinking, if this guy keeps burning off all those calories, eventually he's going to run out. And so the body tries its hardest to stop burning calories. Even not speaking as loud. Avoiding that shoulder check in the car. When I was on a diet once back in the day, I literally got in an accident. I wasn't shoulder checking and I ran into a pole in underground parking. Who does that? And so I'm falling asleep and I'm driving and I once clipped another car's mirror driving on the highway. Picture that. 2 cars going like this and I go over the yellow line and my side view mirror hits their side view mirror. My fault. Why? Because I'm on a diet. That's how hard I dieted. Remember, I did 42 shows natural and 59 in total. And so I know what it's like to get to 5% body fat. And when I warn people that it's a living nightmare, you have no clue how hard it is. And so for those of you thinking, I'm going to get to single digit body fat, I'm just going to maintain from there, life will be great. It won't. It won't. But what will be great is if you become healthy. And being obese, morbidly obese and so on, that ain't healthy. And so you want to get to your healthy body weight. And for men, probably 15% body fat. For the aesthetics, perhaps as low as 10. But for the most part, 99% of people getting below 10% body fat, it's not worth it.
So to hit the target, you're going to have to constantly be readjusting your calories lower and lower. Sucks. And that's only a small part of the problem.
And so you see, rather than just tracking calories, you should be tracking your weight. And not once a week, but the median weight each week. Cross out the highs and the lows and take the middle number. Some days you're going to be dehydrated, you're going to weigh a lot less. Some days you're going to be bloated, you're going to weigh a lot more. And every week should go down a little bit. If it's going down by too much, yay, you get to eat more. If it's not going down at all, you need to eat less or move even more than you did.
How do we increase our energy expenditure to a point that we're burning an extra 500 calories a day? If you try to do it with just a structured bouts of cardio, that's 50 minutes of jogging.
And so how many of you can do 50 minutes of jogging? And remember, it's 50 minutes of him jogging. He's 230 pounds. If you're only 130 pounds and you're jogging at a slow pace, it's going to take you a lot longer.
For every 2,000 steps, that's 100 calories. And before you say I'm already averaging 10,000 steps a day,
Kirk!
You are, because this thing alone can create the deficit you need.
Kirk, you are. If you think you're walking 10,000 steps a day, apparently you're not. And so here's the problem. You need to add 10,000 steps. If you're already walking 10,000 steps, you need to do 20. Ryan didn't mention that. If you just do 10,000 steps a day and you're already doing 5,000, you've only added 5,000 steps. Remember, I teach math. Are you guys learning? And so if 10,000 steps burns off 500 calories and you're already doing 5,000 steps, it's only burning 250 more. And so you're going to have to walk an additional 5,000 above and beyond what you're accustomed to. It is, in fact, a lot. And so much better to add in more cardio and eat less. And so do both at the same time.
Think about it this way. Every time I take my dogs for a 30-minute walk, based upon my huskiness, that burns about 241 calories.
He burns off 241 calories in a 30-minute walk. Remember, he's a big guy. If you walk for 30 minutes, probably going to be a lot less. And so here's his theory. If he puts on a 50-pound vest, he's going to burn off an additional 450 calories.
Each additional pound of weight is another 0.3 calories per mile. So this is a 50-pound vest. That's an additional 450 calories.
Ryan, you fell off. You're not burning an extra 450 calories by wearing a 50-pound vest. If you piggybacked yourself, it would double the calories. How do I know that? Because you'd be traveling with twice the weight. And so remember, calories are a measure of the weight times the distance moved. And so if you double the weight and have the same distance, you double the calories. Think of it, if you add 50 pounds as a weighted vest, are you really going to walk the same speed? And so do you really think adding in a vest is going to make any difference at all? It's not. Why not just walk faster? I didn't think of that. Instead of walking 1.5 miles an hour, walk 3 miles an hour. You burn double the calories. Oh, but why would I ever do that? Oh, and how about this? If you walk on a flat and you're on a treadmill and it goes up to 15 degrees, you just double the calories burned. Increase it to 30 and you've quadrupled the calories burned. Like the fact that he says this, it takes away all credibility of anything he's ever said that has anything to do with math. It's such a grave mistake. It's such an error that it makes me question, what does he actually know? Let us look in the comment section. Did anyone notice this? I'm sure I'm just missing something, but is anyone else confused by the 0.3 extra calories per pound of weight per mile equaling 450 extra calories? Is he talking about over 7 days? Thoughts at 6:55 in the video. One person out of 1.6 million people noticed this. Is Coach Greg a genius? You're not burning off 450 extra calories by putting on a freaking weighted vest while you walk your dog outside. Ryan, you fell off. Perhaps you aren't on top in the first place. Perhaps you're a bottom with Mike Israetel.
So what, I look like an asshole walking around the neighborhood? That's a lot of calories.
He even sums it up by saying, oh, so what if I look like an asshole walking around with a weighted vest? That's a lot of calories. It's 15 per mile. 15 per mile.
While cold plunging doesn't really fall into the category of NEAT, and there's no way to quantify how many calories you burn per minute.
Please don't tell me he's going to suggest you cold plunge to burn more calories. Please.
It does, however, cause your central nervous system to release norepinephrine, which generates more heat. And there's no such thing as an energy-free process, so we know it burns extra calories, we just have no clue how many extra.
Not as many as going for a walk rather than laying down in an ice-cold bath. And so if you think you're freezing off all those calories, you're wrong. Yeah, it might burn off more calories, but hey, using Ryan Humston math, it's going to burn off 450 calories extra in 5 minutes. Yay! And so unless you're using Ryan Humston or girl math, it's not burning off enough calories to make it worth your while. Rather than going for an ice-cold bath, go for a walk. You'll burn way more calories.
But it sucks, so hopefully a lot.
Yeah, it's not worth doing it. Ryan Humston editors, you should have edited that part out of the video. And Ryan Humston editors, you should have said, hey Ryan, it doesn't burn off 450 calories wearing that stupid vest.
Is everybody else's tibialis anterior weak as hell? Mine's already gassed. That was 7.
What's with everyone working on their anterior tibialis? Did y'all not watch the video on Andrew Huberman?
So I start with tib raises, so it's going to be a couple warm-ups.
This is exactly what I'm doing. I'm getting 230 grams of protein, 12% of the calories are coming from fat, and the rest is delicious, delicious carbs.
And so here's the thing. Ryan is on a high-protein, low-fat, high-carb diet. Same as mine. We eat very similarly. But in the end, all you need to do is be in a calorie deficit. And so however you get those calories, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter!
There's going to be some differences in your thermic effect of food, small ones, of which even Ryan says not going to matter. But if you add in more protein and more fiber, it could help a little bit. And so my advice, try to have a high protein diet. Whether you like a lot of fat, a lot of carbs, doesn't matter. Do the diet that you enjoy.
I track my steps with this little stupid activity monitor and I average about 12,000 steps a day. I do about 30 minutes of walking on the treadmill, and to me, this is amazing because I'm not even hungry.
And you know what Ryan Humston is not doing? He's not doing cardio. Yeah, he's going for 30-minute walks. This is a 36-year-old athlete. He's not my grandma. Yeah, you're getting movement, but you're not pushing yourself. It would be like a weightlifter going to the gym and just doing their warm-up sets. And so, Ryan, if you really want to burn some calories, if you really want to become fit, challenge yourself. Rather than zone 1 cardio of the 5 zones, he's sticking to zone 1. Walking for a young, fit, 36-year-old specimen like Ryan Humston, walking is zone 1 cardio. You got to get to zone 2. Now, if you want to become an elite athlete, you need to do some sprints and so on. But for the average person, zone 2. Walking is zone 1. Unless you're a grandpa, my parents are in their 70s. If they go for a walk, it's probably zone 2. But for you, it's not.
And I used to always be hungry. Why did nobody tell me this before?
Says the man who literally made a video promoting a semi-glutide that is a peptide to help you to reduce your hunger.
I take 0.15 milligrams or 150 micrograms daily.
That ends up adding up to a little over a gram a week. How do you get it? Well, it's pretty damn easy to get.
I watched that video and you were promoting a GLP-1 agonist. This is similar to Ozempic, except it's a different name. And so picture this, I'm not even hungry. You know, I do all this cardio, I'm walking 12,000 steps, not even hungry. But imagine if you're taking Ozempic. Does that not seem like maybe that had a little bit to do with it? It'd be like saying you have a lot of energy to lift weights and do cardio, but you're taking Turk Builder and GO2 Max. I wonder why. Turk Builder and GO2 Max in comparison to not taking them, it's not fair. It's essentially a natty cheat code. Remember, it's not banned by WADA. And so if you're in the Olympics and taking this and, for example, running, weightlifting, and so on, you have a huge advantage over your opponents. And so if you're interested in remaining natty and having more energy, push yourself harder than last time, code Greg 15% off. Now remember, I'm not saying it's for everyone, but if you're a type 2 diabetic, if your doctor says that this could be of benefit, perhaps you're interested in a semaglutide. Remember, get your blood work done, find out with the help of your doctor. Interested in getting your blood work done, finding out how to optimize your health, look no further than Transcend. I partnered with Transcend, just got my blood work, and thank goodness I did. Look for a future video. We'll be going over my blood work in detail, explaining exactly what went wrong.
Instead of alternating and looking great one month and like shit the next. Pair that with one of my programs linked below. Again, all 30 days, only $20.
Overall, it's a great video from Ryan Humston. He just shit the bed in terms of wearing that vest. You shit the bed, Ryan. But aside from that, great video. We agreed on essentially everything. And just like him, he has a $20 program. Highly suggest you get it. It's only $20. And if you don't have the $20, I have a free program. It's close to 50 pages. But am I not the guy that only cares about money? It's a free diet and training program. It's close to 50 pages length. You have 1,500 calorie, 2,000, 2,500, 3,000 calories, depending on your needs. Click the link in the description. Head over to my website to get the free diet and training program. Join the 300,000 plus newsletter subscribers. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, like the video if you liked it. In fact, watch one of those 2 videos right now. And until next time, I am out.